guys, welcome to the channel. In this video is my Premier League predictions game week 2. Game week 1 was an entertaining opening fixtures. Come on, were you not entertained by the opening game Liverpool versus AFC Bournemouth at Anfield? This was an exciting 4-2 win for Liverpool. Come on, my name is Andy Final. If you're new, subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment your thoughts. Before we get into the game week 2 predictions, let's do a quick review on the game week 1 results. Well, the first game started at Anfield, which Liverpool managed to get a 4-2 victory over AFC Bournemouth, which it was a dramatic victory for Liverpool. Moving on, the second game too was at the Villa Park, and Aston Villa managed to get a 0-0 draw against Newcastle United. Moving on, the next game too was at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Tottenham Hotspur managed to get a 3-0 victory over Burnley, the new promoted side. I think this season Burnley are going to struggle in the Premier League. Moving on, the next game too was between Sunderland and West Ham United. That game also ended in 3-0 victory for Sunderland. And moving on to the next game too, at the Amex Stadium, Brighton were able to host Fulham, and that game ended in a 1-1 draw. And the next game was versus Manchester City. That game also ended in a 4-0 victory for Manchester City. Pep Guardiola and Erling Haaland, Manchester City are back and they are scoring goals. Come on. Moving on to the next game too, at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, and this game also ended in a 0-0 draw. Moving on to the City Ground, where Nottingham Forest also hosts Brentford, and that game ended in a 3-1 victory for Nottingham Forest. And talking about the next game too was against Manchester United versus Arsenal, which that game also ended in a 1-0 victory for Arsenal. So right now we have only one game left. As I'm recording this video, we still have Leeds United, who is going to play Everton. These were the results in game week 1. I mean, looking at my predictions, I only got one game spot on predicted, which was between Tottenham Hotspur and Burnley. That was the only game I got spot on predicted. Probably I'm going to get the Leeds United versus Everton. Yes, so far this has been the results for the game week 1. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. My name is Andy Final. Like this video, comment your thoughts and your prediction. What really shocks you in the game week 1 fixtures or the game week 1 matchup? Let me know what you think at the comment section. Without wasting much of your time, let's get into the game week 2 predictions. Yeah, so starting off the game week 2 predictions, we are beginning at the London Stadium. It's between West Ham United versus Chelsea. This is going to be a crucial game for both teams. Talking about Chelsea in game week 1 got a 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace, and Chelsea can go into this game at the London Stadium and still go and draw points or lose against West Ham in game week 2. Because this season, looking at Chelsea, they have a very good team. That's why it didn't work in their first game. But while talking about West Ham United too, West Ham in game week 1 also went to Sunderland away, and well, they lost that game by 3-0. So I think this season West Ham United are going to struggle on the Premier League table. Talking about both teams, Chelsea have won their last 2 encounters against West Ham United. So I think Chelsea have a good record going into this game away at the London Stadium. What do I think is going to happen this game against West Ham United? West Ham didn't start the season well, and I think it's going to reflect on this game, and this is going to be their second game. Who do I think is going to make the difference between West Ham United and Chelsea? In prediction, I'm predicting Chelsea to get a 4-1 victory over West Ham United. Chelsea 4, West Ham United 1. Yes, moving on to the next game at the Etihad Stadium is no other than Manchester City will be hosting Tottenham Hotspur in a super clash. This is going to be an exciting game. These are two teams both teams got wins in their first game. Manchester City got a 4-0 victory over Wolves in their first game for the season, and Tottenham Hotspur also got a 3-0 victory in their first game of the season against Burnley. So this is going to be an exciting encounter. Do I think Manchester City are going to get the victory over Tottenham Hotspur? Well, this is a different Tottenham Hotspur side. If it was last season, I'm going to say Manchester City were going to take it easy and win against Tottenham. But well, Thomas Frank Tottenham Hotspur is a different team. Well, I watched their game against Burnley, and well, what a player Kudus Mohammed is. Kudus is a top player, and looking at all the 2 assists that he gave Richarlison in their game against Burnley, and Richarlison scored all those 2 goals, I think this season Kudus is going to really perform for this Tottenham Hotspur side. Let's talk about Erling Haaland and Manchester City. Haaland in their first game also got 2 goals against Wolves, and well, Tijani Rangers too also got a goal and assist in his first debut game for Manchester City. These are 2 teams who are really performing. They show that they are performing in their first game. So going into this game is going to be a crucial clash. You know, games between Tottenham and Manchester City, most of these games ends in a draw. And this game, I would like to sit on the bench and watch. This game, my prediction for this game, I'm predicting this game to end in a 2-2 draw. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Manchester City 2. Yes, so moving on to the 3rd game at the Vitality Stadium is between AFC Bournemouth versus Wolves. These are 2 teams who lost in their first games. Bournemouth lost 4-2 against Liverpool, and Wolves also lost 4-0 against Manchester City. And talking about Bournemouth in their game against Liverpool, despite Bournemouth losing by 4-2, I think they really did well. And well, one player to call or one player to talk about is no other than Ghanaian international Antoine Semenyo. He's scoring 2 goals against Liverpool was a superb performance. Well, I think this season he has a point to prove. And well, going into this game against Wolves, who this season I'm not sure they are going to perform, because I watched them against City and they really struggle to even create chances. These Wolves teams, probably if they don't make signings at the latter stage in this transfer window, I don't think they will survive in the Premier League. And well, going into this second game against Bournemouth side, who really impressed, despite in the summer they sold most of their key players, so I thought they were going to struggle. And well, despite they conceded 4 against Liverpool, I thought they were a better side, and I don't think going into this game against Wolves they are going to struggle. So what is my prediction going into this game at the Vitality Stadium in Gameweek 2? Well, I'm predicting AFC Bournemouth or the Cherries to get a 2-0 victory over Wolves. Bournemouth 2, Wolves 0. Yes, moving on to the 4th game at the G-Tech Stadium is between Brentford versus Aston Villa. Well, Brentford in their opening game, they lost 3-1 against Nottingham Forest at the City Ground, and well, going into this game at the G-Tech Community Stadium to host Aston Villa, who also in their first game got a 0-0 draw against Newcastle United. I think this is going to be an interesting clash. Do I think Brentford can get a win over Aston Villa? Probably no. I don't think this season Brentford have the quality, because already we all know they sold most of their key players. Brian Mbeumo to Manchester United, Wissa too on his way out, and going into this game, still I watched them against Nottingham Forest. I wasn't impressed with their performance, despite they got a goal, but I don't think they have a good team that can host Aston Villa and get even a point in that game. Well, I'm predicting Aston Villa to also get a 2-1 victory at the G-Tech Community Stadium over Brentford. Aston Villa 2, Brentford 1. Yes, moving on to match number 5 at Turf Moor is between Burnley versus Sunderland. Well, Burnley in their opening game lost 3-0 against Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, going home at the Turf Moor to host another new promoted side, which is Sunderland, who also in their first game got a 3-0 victory over West Ham United. I think this is going to be an interesting clash. Maybe this could be a relegation battle, but well, I think this is an early days, and you can't say this is a relegation, because looking at right now, do I think Burnley can prove something? Because I personally think this game could end in favor of Sunderland based on how things are going, because I watched them against West Ham United. That's why I didn't watch the full game, but I think how I watched them and how they play, they have a team, and right now they brought in the likes of Xhaka, Adingra, and these players are balling for them. But I think Sunderland is going to impress so much in the new season, and going to this game against another new promoted side, which is Burnley. Well, going to this game, what is my prediction? I'm predicting this game to end in a draw. I'm predicting Burnley 1, Sunderland 1. Oh yes, moving on to match number 6 at the Emirates Stadium is between Arsenal versus Leeds United. Well, as I'm recording this video, Leeds United are yet to play their game in Gameweek 1, and Arsenal has already played a game in Gameweek 1 and they got a 1-0 victory over Manchester United. What do I think is going to happen at the Emirates in Gameweek 2? Well, Arsenal in the game against Manchester United, that's why I didn't watch the entire game, but based on the highlight that I watched, Arsenal team are general. With the new signing like Victor Gyökeres and even Martin Zubimendi, they are all finding their foot in this Arsenal system, and I think Mikel Arteta has a lot of work to do. But well, going into this game in game 2, hosting Leeds United, who is also a new promoted side, I think this is a game that, that's why I've not watched Leeds United their first game, but I think Arsenal is going to get a win over Leeds United. What is my score prediction? Well, I'm predicting Arsenal to get a 3-1 victory over Leeds United. Arsenal 3, Leeds United 1, and I'm predicting that Victor Gyökeres is going to score brace in this game against Leeds United. Mark it and get back to this video after the game. Moving on to match number 7 in Game 2 at the Selhurst Park is between Crystal Palace versus Nottingham Forest. Talking about Crystal Palace in their last game against Chelsea got a 0-0 draw at the Stamford Bridge, and well, Nottingham Forest too in their first game in the Premier League got a 3-1 victory over Brentford at the City Ground. And well, going into this game, I watched Crystal Palace in their last 3 games against some of the top teams like the FA Cup final, the Community Shield final, and well, their opening fixture against Chelsea, and I was impressed with the kind of ball that they played. As I'm recording this video, Eze is still at Crystal Palace, and well, Nottingham Forest too, they did well. Chris Wood also got the brace against Brentford in their opening fixture, and I think it's a good way to start the season. If your striker scored 2 goals in their opening games, it tells you that this season they are going to have a very good season. So what is my score prediction going into this game? Well, I think at this point I have to give this game a draw. I'm sitting on the bench and I'm predicting a 2-2 draw. Crystal Palace 2, Nottingham Forest 2. Yes, moving on to the next game 2 is between Everton versus Brighton. Well, as I'm talking, Everton are yet to play their game against Leeds United, and Brighton has already played their game in Gameweek 1 and they got a 1-1 draw against Fulham in their opening fixture of the season. What do I think is going to happen? Well, I can't give my details because Everton are yet to play the game, but my prediction for this game, I'm predicting Brighton to get a draw in this game. Well, I'm predicting this game to also end in a 1-1 draw. Brighton 1, Everton 1. Moving on to match number 9 at the Craven Cottage is between Fulham versus Manchester United. Talking about Manchester United in their opening fixture at the Old Trafford got a 1-0 loss against Arsenal, which I think, despite United losing, I think they really play well. They play some beautiful football with the likes of Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, and well, Manchester United, despite last season they finished 15th. This time around, I don't think United is going to finish 15th, so I think United will really perform. And Fulham also in their opening fixture got a 1-1 draw against Brighton, which I think going into this game too, Fulham is going to play home, and I think it's going to be a difficult game for Manchester United, but at the end of the day, I'm tipping Manchester United to get a narrow victory over Fulham. I'm predicting that game to end 1-0 victory for Manchester United. Man United 1, Fulham 0. Yes, moving on to the last game, which is the game of the week in Premier League Gameweek 2 at the St. James Park, is between Newcastle United versus the Premier League champions Liverpool. To me, I think, talking about Liverpool in their opening fixture hosted AFC Bournemouth, and it was an exciting, dramatic game in the opening. What a way for Premier League to resume. Come on. Despite me being a Chelsea fan, or despite me being a neutral fan, because I wasn't supporting Liverpool, neither supporting AFC Bournemouth, but well, I was entertained. How the game went? Well, the game started, Liverpool got their first goal, Ekitike scored the first goal, and Gakpo added one, making it 2-0. And later on, when it came into the second half, Ghanaian international Antoine Semenyo equalized, we are making it 2-1, and later on he got his second goal, making it 2-2. So as at 83rd minute, the game was 2-2, which it could have possibly ended in the draw, but well, Liverpool did a substitution, brought in Kaiser. He came on for Florian Wirtz, and well, Kaiser scored a very beautiful goal, making it 3-2 in favor of Liverpool. And finally, when the referee was about to blow his whistle for everything to end, Mohamed Salah said, "No, this game cannot end without me scoring." And Salah added 1-8, making a 4-2 in favor of Liverpool. If I didn't watch that game and somebody told me like Liverpool got a 4-2, I would say, oh, it's a boring game. But well, this was a very beautiful and entertaining game. Well, Liverpool going into this game against Newcastle in their second game this season. Liverpool, everybody know Liverpool are still contenders for the Premier League. They can still win it again. But well, I think this is going to be a tough game. Despite Newcastle in their opening game got a 0-0 draw at the Villa Park against Aston Villa, and Liverpool got a 4-2 victory against AFC Bournemouth. Can Liverpool get their second victory of the season? Probably yes, because with how everything panned out for Newcastle United, I don't think the entire team is in their right mind. I watched the game against Aston Villa, and well, I can see clearly that they needed a number 9, and now that Isak is about leaving, and well, he's leaving to a team that they are going to even face. So I think whoever wins should take Alexander Isak, and there is no way that I think Newcastle United can shock or surprise Liverpool, because Liverpool has the quality, they have the players, and they have the squad depth. You know, Premier League, before you can win the Premier League, you need the squad depth. You don't need just only the 11 players. You need more quality players on the bench. And right now, looking at Newcastle United, even their first 11 is not set. So they still need to do some business on the market and bring in strikers. What do I think is going to happen in this game at the St. James Park? Can Liverpool win? Probably yes. I'm predicting Liverpool to get a 2-0 victory over Newcastle United at the St. James Park. Liverpool 2, Newcastle United 0. So yes, this has been my prediction for Premier League Game Week 2. My name is Andy Fighter. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment your thoughts, let me know what you think about the predictions and what are your thoughts going into the Game Week 2. Till we meet in another video. Bye bye for now.